Hey guys, this is Dark Passenger, and I'm just here to talk about the movie Ferris Bueller's Day Off. This came out in 1986. It was directed by John Hughes, and it's basically about Ferris Bueller. He tricks his parents into thinking that he's sick just so he could stay home from school. And, then the dean of students at his school catches on to it, and then he starts to try to prove that he's, you know, faking sick just so he can cut school. So yeah, this movie it stars Matthew Broderick as Ferris Bueller, and then and there's also Alan Ruck as his friend Cameron, and Mia Sara as his girlfriend Sloane. So basically, after that, after his parents kind of fall for it, he goes out with his he pulls his girlfriend out of school after getting his friend Cameron to come over, and then they basically go and spend the day pretty much doing whatever they want. Like, there's a scene in the movie where he's kind of on a float, on one of those parade floats, just goofing around, and they take Cameron's father's Ferrari, for a joyride as well in this film, and all, and the entire time, the dean of students at his school, Ed Rooney, played by Jeffrey Jones, he tries to catch Ferris in the act of cutting school. He even calls the mother and tells her that he's been absent from school nine times that semester. But she doesn't really believe him. And also his sister Jeannie, played by Jennifer Grey. For those of you who have seen Dirty Dancing, you might know her from that. She also doesn't believe that he's really sick. But everyone at his school, believes it, thinks he's dying. They even, start to collect money to try to save him. But, they don't. They just, pretty gullible, I guess. But yeah, this movie to me, it's pretty good in my opinion. Matthew Broderick is great in this as this character. I mean, it's probably one of my favorite roles of his, and one of my favorite movies. I mean, it's a classic. It really is awesome. If you haven't seen it, I do highly recommend that you check it out. I mean, it's one of the best films ever made, for sure. And I reckon Matthew Broderick is most recognized for that movie, because whenever somebody sees him, I guess he's just, everyone who ever meets him or sees him apparently just mentions Ferris Bueller, that character. And, all the while and in the movie he's kind of just, talking to you, kind of talking to the audience, kind of narrating. It's as if somebody's there, listening to him. And there's another, scene, closer to the end. I'm sorry for the spoilers for those of you who haven't seen it, but when they bring back Cameron's dad's Ferrari, he starts kicking the shit out of it, and he ends up pushing it out the garage window and killing it. He kills the car. He just completely trashes it. I thought that was pretty funny. And he ends up he says that he'd take the blame for it. And then Ferris, he realizes he has to go, and then there's that whole scene, shows him running home, just so he wouldn't get caught. and his sister and his mother are heading back from picking up from the police station because their mother had to pick Ferris's sister up from there. Ferris's sister Jeannie, she sees him and tries to get home before him just so she could bust him. But then Ferris gets home and they get home, and Jeannie, she goes out the back and sees that Ed, the dean of students, has kind of caught Ferris, and she comes up with a story that he's walked home from the hospital and just tells him to go to bed. So, yeah. I mean, there's just so many great iconic scenes in this movie, and like I said, if you haven't seen it yet, I highly recommend that you do. That's pretty much all I gotta say. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe. Stay tuned for more reviews, updates, thoughts, videos, movie news. Peace.